G'day, this is Captainoob, and this is a Vulkan-M. This is not the first time the Vulkan has appeared on the channel, but for those of you who are not in the know or have forgotten, here's a quick refresher. This is a Ukrainian-made rifle, which was first developed around the year 2015, in service from 2017 onwards to this day. Probably a good bet to see that this thing is actually being utilized in Ukraine as we speak. Essentially, what you're looking at here is an AK-74 that has been reconfigured into bullpup form, which allows for a lot of barrel length without a lot of overall rifle length. So good in close quarters where a longer rifle might get snagged on corners and stuff, and also for overall accuracy whilst having the portability. It's a pretty good setup, I guess. This thing has got custom sounds and animations to go along with it, and a whole lot of attachments. So let's get into it. This thing is chambered in 7.62 right now. You can also put it in 5.56, although for some reason they decided not to make the differences in cartridges change the damage values. So your 7.62s will hit for the exact same amount as your 5.56s. So I don't know, it's kind of odd that they've done that. But anyways, we'll go over the receivers here. If we go all the way to the bottom, we've got the powerful auto receiver doing the same exact damage as a vanilla game assault rifle, and it'll actually tell you with these descriptions exactly what you are looking at or what you are getting with these things when you attach those attachments on, which is some pretty good transparency. A lot of mods just give you a vague description of what happens, but this one will actually tell you exactly what is happening. There's also an option for an advanced receiver, so if you want to use this for a rifleman setup with a scope for sniper bonuses, then you can utilize that instead. We'll be testing these both, but for now we'll leave that one on the automatic powerful receiver. Legendary effect provided by legendary modification, we'll skip over that. On your right hand side you can throw on a laser sight or a flashlight on the rail, so we'll put that one on. And on your muzzles you can have no muzzle. This one, which is Krimska, standard suppressors, different types of suppressors, many suppressors. There's even these ones, that's a big muzzle brake, some compensators here. And this one is, well, it's not a suppressor, but it's some sort of barrel extension thing, because normally the suppressors give you an ace operator bonus. This one does not. That gives me a whole lot of range though, which is actually not a terrible deal. Although it looks like if we attach the suppressors on this thing, it'll actually increase our range anyway, which, you know, makes sense ballistically, because extra barrel length allows the powder to burn up efficiently, or more efficiently, so, you know, your bullet can propel a little bit further. That's a kind of interesting way to do it. Normally they do the opposite for Fallout 4's balancing, but we'll throw on the giant PBS burrito suppressor, and we'll move on. You can throw on a sheepot handguard there. If you do that, you gain access to a lower tactical railed slot thing. You can throw on some foregrips, angled grips, you name it, it's there. We'll go for that one. And we can even throw something on the front. So if you want a flashlight on the front of this long-ass Picatinny rail, then you can do that. Next, we've got the sights. You can have standard iron sights, or you can have a range of different reflex sights. Eastern, Western, you name it, it's here. Risers or not risers. And if you scroll all the way down, you've got options for using scopes. Now, these things don't actually tell you how much magnification you get. I would assume that this ACOG would give you a little bit more zoom in than much else, but for now, we'll just go for a more Eastern type sight. So we'll go for a copper red dot sight. And you can also throw on this camo tape if you feel like it, because you're gonna blend into something there. I'm not exactly sure what that's going to blend into, but it's there. And I haven't gone over the magazines yet, but you can change a different variety of magazines in different colors, different shapes and sizes. They'll all do the same thing in terms of their description, so I'm guessing it's all the same. But like I said before, again, this thing doesn't actually give you extra damage using the heavier cartridges, which is really odd. So you may as well always go for the 5.56 rounds because they're lighter in your inventory, and, you know, you can use your 7.62s for a more powerful weapon, like the handmade rifle, for example. Let's go that one. Maybe we'll try to find a black one, but I think you get the idea. We'll make a few more of these and we'll get to shooting. You can craft this weapon on a chemistry workbench. Just find weapons, Vulkan-M, scroll all the way down because V is pretty late in the alphabet, and you go into there. For gears, plastic, rubber springs, and steel, you can create your own Vulkan-M with no perk requirements, which I think is kind of interesting. And we're back! Immersive Gunners Plaza awaits. Here is our Malyuk in first person, and here's what it's like when it's firing. plenty of recoil on the, I was going to say old girl, but nah, she's pretty new. So that's interesting. We're going to have to reel that in a little bit, but even if I do pull down on the mouse to try to counter that, there's a lot of side to side as well. So yeah, she's going to be kicking a little bit. Here is the sniper status version I made. It's got an ACOG scope for enhanced zoom in, angled grip there, as well as the PBS suppressor on the front. And here's what it does. It loops over and 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 over. But you can put it away, and if you do that, the sound goes away. Here's my automatic version here. There's nothing on this but a big muzzle brake on the front or compensator thing. I was hoping that would help me control the recoil a little bit. It does an okay job at doing that, but yeah, a little bit more I think would be necessary. Fortunately, the unsuppressed version doesn't loop on itself using the wrong fire sound keywords. This one here has the super long barrel thing, which appears to have the muzzle flash happen inside it. I don't think that's sealed properly, just quietly, but the stats still remain. It's going to be fine. So what we'll do is we'll use this annoying one, and we'll get a couple of sniper kills before we get into it. Now, a thing about this thing's balance is that this thing is... Oh, it's horrible. I hate it. I hate it so much. Can you die, please? Okay, so talking about its balance, sure, it's got the same damage numbers as... Oh boy, this thing's going all over the place. Yeah, same damage numbers and everything. Yeah, that's fine. But the difference herein is that this thing is going to be firing a lot slower and have a lot more recoil. So we might struggle a little bit more with this thing in comparison to other rifles. Okay, that's enough. I'm not using that one again. This one seems to be comparing favorably. We are in danger now, so the time for sneaking has passed, but we're only getting, what, sneak criticals for like 200 or so damage. We're not hitting them particularly fast either, so whatever. We can use the little bit of extra armor penetration we get from the rifleman perk to do a little bit against these gunners. 90 damage is not terrible, but we'll go over our automatic one now. Now, at this sort of range, you'll find that the recoil, not that much of a problem. And we'll just do a quick reload in slow motion so we can literally run rings around that gunner as we're doing it. And I even had a critical on the end of our burst there just to make sure we get all of the hits we can in before the thing ends. So I don't think we'll have any real problems with this thing in terms of its damage output. I think we'll be just fine. And in terms of its VATS, it seems to be accurate enough and fairly generous in terms of how much you can do with this thing in VATS. See this gunner brigadier? One burst will probably annihilate her. What I should be doing is utilizing gun fu here. One for you, friend. Couple for you. And one for you. Oh, can I get the one behind you? Nope. Doesn't matter. Really should have saved the critical for that last shot. Anyways, so it's not like we're struggling or anything, but we've definitely used stronger weapons. Is it balanced? Maybe. So what I'll do is I'm going to go around here. We'll utilize our version with these cool iron sights. Running nice in close quarters. These guys should be... Well, they get staggered and they stop shooting at me, but a little bit of bullet sponginess happening at the moment. Could alleviate this a little bit utilizing perks or legendary effects. I lost my train of thought there because I'm thinking this will be a crit now every shot. Unfortunately, I'm not really knee-deep in gunners at the moment to really make use of this. I could attempt to sling myself up here and do that instead. Is it cheating at this point? Probably. But you know what? This weapon is not as strong as usual, so that balances out, right? As they toss grenades over my face. Really just struggles getting through one of them. I suppose the fact that this thing can only be chambered, or at least the ammo capacity can only be set to what's it, 30 rounds. That sort of does make it a little bit hard to less than one mag these guys, I suppose. No real problems here. We can take it a little bit cautiously to make sure we don't get killed unnecessarily here, but whilst we're here, we may as well just, I mean, one of these guys is cloaked. He shoots a... Wow. I was not expecting that. Also, nerd rage, please. Thank you. Wasn't expecting a close range, point blank even, shot from a RPG. There's the bash animation. There we go. Managed to roll a critical there. That'll do the job. Stop it. Well, you could argue that the bash damage is way faster because you just bash more rapidly, but you're poking them with a hot suppressor, so you'd imagine there's like 1 or 2 points of energy damage being used. Anyways, back to Vats we go. Don't forget to reload, by the way. It's bad. It's bad. Ah, good. We're back. Full bar of health. We can basically run this however we want. In case you want to get any ideas about bashing me, I'll poke you right back. How's that sound? Also, there's a flashlight if you're wondering. We tend to not do these during the night because, well, the viewer can't see, and YouTube's compression makes the videos look bad when they're utilized when I'm playing at night, at least. So we usually leave that stuff until later on. But it's done the job. Not the fastest, most spectacular weapon I've ever used, but the job will be done momentarily. Gonna keep poking this guy. There we go. Back around here for a reload. Or we could just flick ourselves to the other side of the universe with our grappling hook. I think I was trying to press the crouch button, which I don't even have mapped to anywhere. I've got it mapped to C. I played Fortnite this morning and trying to press control for crouching. But nope, that causes me to use the grappling hook. Alright, job's done in just a second here. I see you. I'm coming to get ya. How did I miss these guys? I don't know. Anyways, the Creation Club lady's here, so we'll shoot her in the face. Grim Reaper sprint proc, gun through, excellent. Okay, now we're done. Alright, we didn't struggle there, but it wasn't that much of a breeze either, but generally you can't go wrong with automatic rifles anyway, so yeah. The recoil and the rate of fire made this a little bit less strong than your standard assault rifle. Also, ammo capacity wise as well. You could get the standard assault rifle up to 80 rounds in a magazine, and not to mention how fast that reload is. But I think it works. It's a pretty well-made weapon. Looks good. Works well with classic holstered weapons as well. So there's not a lot you can really knock on with this mod. Yeah, I didn't see if I got the ability to have sniper knockdowns before. So we'll bring out the annoying one again and just put some shots in. He might drop. Doesn't look like that's happening. Okay. Well, that's fine. If we just get a couple of shots down range on that. There's one tough Mr. Handy. Also, I'm not hitting it. Maybe I can't see the reticule properly here. But soon he's going to be coming this way. I'll be getting my sneak criticals, maybe. He's still aggro to something else at this stage. There we go. There's my sneak criticals. And we've got a bunch of criticals, so let's utilize them. Have even more criticals, friend. 333, 414. That's pretty good. Not bad. Some pretty good damage. And what are you doing? You just gonna stand there? Guess so. Let me see if I can creep a little bit close just so we can maximize our damage. 255. That was with headshots, I think. He's just given up. He doesn't even want to fight today. Well, this is going to flatter the Vulkan a little bit, I think, but I think you get the idea. What I could do here is try to get some of these Vats criticals back. Since he's not moving, we're bound to hit him, right? Keep him coming. Keep him coming. Not quite. May as well reload. We'll also wait for our AP to regenerate. Okay, I didn't expect this fight to go so brain-deadly smooth, so isn't that great? And almost ready. Wait for him to peer his head around, and we should get full crits back. Excellent. Well, that worked, kind of. No sniper knockdown, so I'd imagine this doesn't have the proper sniper keyword on it. So that's a couple of keyword errors. Bad. Actually, I think I might just... Actually, I think I might just dump this on the ground. I'm sick of it. You're annoying. Alright, we'll chew through a couple of little basic baby raiders, and then we'll get started. Ooh, 19 damage. I understand that he's in power armor, but golly, I would have thought I would have done more to him. Good thing he didn't have that much of a health bar to begin with, though, so that's fine. What I should do here is shoot all of these guys utilizing slow motion Vats, just so I could get some of these criticals back. There's Grim Reaper Sprint. It's an instant critical for everything else now. It's great for weapons that'll use little AP and kill many things at once. Get a little bit closer here because our iron sights are sort of not working for us as well. And may as well throw some criticals over at that Mylark Queen. This will be a true test. Now, are you going to run outside to where the giant crab is, Raiders? Are you going to stay in there? Because I would suggest that you stay in there. Oh, look. Crippled both his legs. That's helpful. Finish the job, I suppose. We've got 2 criticals. Let's keep it coming, I think. I think this mod has been slowly creeping into these videos more and more. Normally, I thought it'd be... I felt like it was cheating back when I first started using it, but now it's just like, you know what, this is fun. I'll just use it anyway, because, well, I was thinking about it. It's pretty much like Vats, but there's more user input there. Like, you can miss on a crit if you're not paying enough attention with this thing, so there's that. Alright, so what do I want to do here? Just get a nice little, quick burst on him as much as possible. We'll find his face. We've got the penetrator perk, so this should work wonders. And this guy is susceptible to stagger, unlike old mate Swan, so that's good. This time, he's probably going to charge in, right? Right? Well, I didn't mean this to be super easy, so let's go over to something else. And shit, that's not a bad effort from Mr. Crab over there. Mr. Lobster, as it were. But now we can get into shooting him with unsuppressed variant. Yeah. I'm still getting sneak criticals, though. Hello? I'm over here. He's never been like this before at all. Are we not firing at full... What is going on? Surely he can hear this, right? 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 As far as I'm aware, that ain't no suppressor. Okay, now he sees me. We'll just sidestep that little attack that you're doing, friend. I suppose that's something that you could kind of exploit, because you go into this slow motion mode and you literally run faster. I remember just putting on God mode, just messing around, and I activated the slow motion Vats, and since you get infinite AP in Vats mode, or VAFs mode, the slowdown was like all the time, right? So what I did was I used console commands to make the game speed go at normal, SGTM1 or 4 even, just to offset the amount of game speed that I was losing by having it in slow motion. And you could jump way further, way further than you could under normal circumstances. So that kind of carries over. It's like you've hit jet every time you do the bullets time slowdown. But look, I think you get the idea. So this here was the Vulkan. It's definitely the better of the Vulkan mods. I think the last one I did looked at was back in, what, 2017-ish or something like that. So this one is more refined. I think I mean, there's a couple of things you could do. Obviously, changing the keywords, allowing scopes to be used as scopes so you can get sniper knockdowns. That's always fun to do. And having the actual calibers reflect how much damage you're actually able to get out of this thing. I think it would be good to see that. So there's room to grow with this thing, but overall a pretty good mod. If you are a fan of this particular Ukrainian rifle, then check out the link in the description. It should be down there. And as we sit on this stool, we'll close out the video there. Thank you very much for watching, guys.